If you are interested in making a poster presentation, please keep watching this video. So, this is tip number 9 for this class, how to get people's attention in print. Let's start with a video. I would like you to watch the video called Testing Your Awareness and count how many passes does the white team make. You will see there are 2 basketball teams and one team is dressed in white. So please count how many passes does the white team make. Did you see the moonwalking bear while you were counting? If you didn't, it is probably because of inattention blindness. Indeed, the brain receives 40 billion sensory inputs every second. So it cannot pay attention to everything. And I ask you to count the number of passes, so your brain was focusing on this and just didn't see the moonwalking bear. This is to show to you that usually people think that they sufficiently pay attention to everything, but it is not true. It simply is not possible. So, in your poster, you need to attract the viewer's attention to your message. You need to make sure he will pay attention to your message. How do you do this? How do you get people's attention? You can use 4 aspects in a poster: shapes, colors, fonts, human faces. Let's start with colors and shapes. What do you read? I read, "Stop war, peace, now." What do you read now? Stop peace, war, now. This is how you can use shapes and colors to make sure people are reading the correct message, right? Because stop war is very different from war now, or peace now is very different from stop peace. So think about this when you create your poster. If you have strong visuals like these, use shape and colors to make sure the audience understands your message. Now, fonts. Which is easier to read? This font or this font? The first font is called sans serif. The second font is called serif. The serif is this little thing at the top and bottom of letters that they don't end just in a straight line. So, which is easier to read? Actually, there is no difference. Why? People identify letters through pattern recognition. Here is a series of A. Here's another type of A. And you can recognize this letter because you are recognizing the pattern, which is 1 up, 1 down, 1 across. Here is the pattern, right? So people are not using fonts to recognize letter, they are using pattern, a pattern that they have learned when they learned how to read. So, font style doesn't matter. However, keep it simple. Keep it simple, right? If the font is too complicated, it might be difficult to actually read what you wrote. On the other hand, font size matters. Can you read the little text under the big title? So it says, can you read this? In this case, in terms of font size, you need to ask yourself the question, what are the important pieces of information in my message? Once you have found these important pieces of information, you need to make them as visible as possible, right? So usually use a bigger font. In terms of size, font style actually matters. Which font style is bigger, Arial or Times New Roman? However, in the software, these two fonts are identical. They are a 32 points. However, I'm pretty sure that you find that Arial looks bigger, doesn't it? So, why does Arial look bigger than Times New Roman? Well, in this case, it's getting a little bit technical, but it's the height of the letter X, so the X height. This is how it is measured, basically. Quite simply, you just use the top part of the X and the bottom part of the X, right? So the mean line and the baseline. And this is how you measure the actual size of a font, even if the software tells you it is the same size. And if you look, Arial is on the left and Times New Roman is on the right. And clearly, Arial on the left looks bigger than Times New Roman. Basically, Arial looks bigger because its X height is bigger than the X height of Times New Roman with the same font size. So if this is important to you, that the letters are big so that people can see easily, then I would advise you to compare different font styles to decide which one works better for you. For the last point, I'd like you to look at this advertisement and think what it is that you see first. Usually, what people see first is the face of the model. Why? Well, we see human faces faster than anything else. Why? Because we have a part of the brain called FFA, fusiform face area. Basically, this part of the brain allows the brain to bypass the standard recognition path. It's like a direct connection instead of having to go through different paths. First, let's check this, and then that, and then this. There is this ability of the brain to connect directly to the FFA so that we can recognize human faces faster than anything else. So yes, we recognize human faces very quickly, and we like human faces. Who doesn't like the cute face of a baby? Well, it's not just babies, because the FFA, the fusiform face area, is near the amygdala, and the amygdala in the brain is the emotional center. So that's why faces have an emotional impact on us, and usually a positive emotional impact. One more thing about human faces, well, we look where someone looks, and this could be a good tool for you. According to eye tracking research, if a picture of a face looks away from us, right? So it's not looking at us, but it's looking somewhere else and toward a product usually, then we tend to look at that product too. Basically, we look where someone looks. So this could be very practical because you can use human faces to attract attention to something you want people to look at, just like I'm doing in this slide. She's looking up towards the text, so I am hoping that you are carefully looking at the text on the slide. In conclusion, if you decide to make a poster presentation, remember that shapes and colors influence what people see. So make good use of it so that you can get the right message across. Fonts. Well, there are no differences between serif and sans serif fonts, so you can choose the one you like best. However, the X height of a font decides how large the font is, and so I recommend you to use a large X height font so that people can more easily read your text. Last, human faces. People recognize faces faster than anything else, and we like human faces, and on top of it, people look where the face is looking. So by all means, if you can add human faces in your poster, use them well so that people feel either connected emotionally or that they will look where the face is looking, and hopefully you will have put important information right there.